Moving on to number 8, that's very similar. Again, you're always going to go through your order of operations. And we don't have any of those or those, so we're going to jump straight to multiplying, and I see it right here, a positive 5. Positive 5 times 8 is 40. Positive 5 times a negative x, you can put that 1 in there if you need. 5 times a negative 1 is a negative 5, and then don't forget to put your x on it. Remember that we bring down everything else that we have not used. We distributed this 5, so it's in here, so we don't rewrite it. It's gone. It's distributed inside these other pieces. We do need to put something to separate that 2 from that 40. 40 was a positive, so we're going to put a plus sign in there. Now we're going to go through and combine like terms. We have 9x's and we have negative 5x's. If you like stacking them so that you can see, and then you can type in those beginning numbers into Desmos. Remember, don't type in the x's. 9 minus 5 is 4x's, and so that's our x term. We're going to go through and we're going to combine our plain numbers, those constants. We have negative 2 plus 40, and you can add in a different order if you want. So you can say 40 minus 2 so that you can see that easier maybe. That's a 38, and it is positive 38. Don't forget to put that plus sign separating the 4 and the x from our constants. Final answer, 4x plus 38. To find the perimeter of a shape, perimeter means to go all the way around the rim. The number one mistake is that students will combine these two sides and think they are done. Perimeter is all the way around the outside. There's a couple different ways that you can do this, but I'm going to choose the combining like terms way to reinforce that skill. It says the width was x and the length is 10 more than x. So remember, whenever it says the word than, we actually kind of switch the order so that the 10 that's listed first is actually at the end of our expression, and more would be adding. And then our x that's at the end of that word sentence is actually in the beginning of our expression right here. So now to find the perimeter, we're going to combine all the way around the outside. So I'm going to go around and I'm going to put 1's in front of all those x's because that's just 1x. And now I'm going to combine them. 1x plus 1x plus another x plus another x. I have 4 x's all together. Then we have our 10 and another 10. 10 plus 10 is 20. Final answer for perimeter of the rectangle. On number 10, there is no shape drawn for us. We're supposed to be drawing a square. And it says the perimeter again. Perimeter is to go all the way around the outside. It says it has side lengths of 5 less than 2 times a number. So we have that than again. So even though 5 is written first in our number sentence, we're actually going to write it at the end. When we have 5 less than something, that means we're taking 5 away from something that's already there, so it's subtract. 2 times a number, we don't know what number that is, so we can use an x. So we have 2x minus 5. On a square, every side is the same, so I'm going to do this one a little bit different. You could write 2x minus 5 on each side, and you can go around and combine like terms, like I did on number 9. But I'm going to do something a little bit different. Since I do that 4 times, I'm going to do the distributive property this time. 4 times 2x is 8x. 4 times a negative 5 is negative 20. Final answer. If you would like to check yourself, you can go back through and combine your like terms. 2x's, 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 and 2x's make 8x's. And then negative 5, a negative 5, another negative 5, and yet another negative 5 will give you that negative 20. Last question on the review. A rectangle has a perimeter of 5x minus 3, and a square has a perimeter of 7x minus 5. Find the difference between the perimeter of the rectangle and the square. So what we're actually going to do is going to make it more like what you're going to see on your test. Usually when we do subtraction, we put the bigger number first. So I'm actually going to put 7x minus 5. That's going to be the square. And then I'm going to take away the rectangle. So since that is right here, 5x minus 3, it's important to keep those in parentheses to keep that group together, especially when we are subtracting, because when you have a subtraction sign right next to the parentheses, you're going to have to distribute. So I'm going to recopy, and then I'm going to distribute that -1. -1 times 5x is -5x. -1 times a -3 is a +3. Then we go back through and we combine our like terms. 7x's and then minus 5x. I'm going to stack these so I can see it maybe a little bit more clearly. 7 minus 5 is 2. X. If we have a -5 and a +3, a -5 and a +3, remember that you can go in and type just these beginning numbers on Desmos to help you get the right symbol. Will be a -2. And there is no letter on that one. Final answer is right there, 2x minus 2. Please try to do the review again if you leaned very heavily on the videos so that you can learn how to do it by yourself. Good luck on test day. And that was the review